faculty members across campus continue to be recognized for their achievements. Find out which professor is being honored with a brand new scholarship.
Plus, the 405 freeway should be seeing less traffic than usual. Hear why your morning commute should get a lot less hectic.
And an Amber Alert has come to a close after authorities have found a baby abducted by his father.
Good afternoon and welcome to Chapman News. I'm Alex Biston.
And I'm Annie Ackerman. You're watching the only live newscast in Orange County. A mother from Northern California is eagerly awaiting the return of her 2-week baby boy who was found safe and sound in Mexico. Maritza Viella has more on how the Amber Alert may have saved the boy's life. Authorities are still trying to figure out how Guler traveled across the country without being noticed. The California Highway Patrol is handling the investigation. A GMC Yukon SUV crashed into a bus stop on Wednesday in East Los Angeles. The crash occurred at the intersections of Whittier and Atlantic Boulevards. Witnesses said that the driver drove onto the sidewalk, hit a woman, and then hit and dragged a man into a bus stop. They say the driver then grabbed a child from the SUV and fled the scene on foot. Authorities believe the driver was a Hispanic man in his early 20s. He was last seen running through North Atlantic Boulevard wearing blue jeans and a white or gray shirt. 3 people were injured, and anyone with information is asked to call the California Highway Patrol. The Kelly Thomas murder trial is set to begin in just a few weeks. 3 Fullerton police officers are being charged with the killing of homeless man back in 2011. Here to talk about the upcoming trial, Mark DeVore is one of the top criminal defense attorneys in Orange County. He has had his own practice since 1998, focusing on criminal trial and appeals.
DeVore is also a temporary superior court judge in several Orange County courts and our expert in the ongoing Kelly Thomas trial. Mark, thank you so much for coming today.
Well, thank you for having me.
On Chapman News. So this case has reached national news, and Sergeant Ramos is the first police officer in the county to be committed for murder while in uniform and on duty. So do you feel that these police were following protocol?
My opinion is definitely not, and I think that anybody who sees that video, which is widely viewed on YouTube, will probably come to the same conclusion.
The jury is being selected in the next few weeks, and they'll decide what evidence is allowed to be shown. There was that viral video. How do you think the video and all the evidence is going to play out?
Well, the problem is with jury trials, you never know what happens. I can think something, Tony Rackauckus, the DA of Orange County, can think something, the defendants can think otherwise, but you really never know what's going to happen when you place evidence in front of a jury. That said, I urge people to go see the video, and I find it hard to believe that some of the defense theories will be accepted.
Yeah, and then do you think that the officers intended to kill him, and did they think they'd get away with it?
Well, I definitely think they did not intend to kill Kelly Thomas. However, the law of murder does not require an intentional killing per se. And in this case, the theory of second-degree murder is that Ramos did an act that was inherently dangerous to human life with what they call a depraved heart, and kept on going and followed through, so that while he didn't act with what they call actual malice, malice is implied by doing such a vicious act which with a likely harm or great bodily injury to the victim.
And going back to the video, I mean, there's a lot of profanity. There are a lot of horrible, horrible remarks and pictures of Kelly Thomas's face just ruined. You know, what type of penalty do you think these police officers are going to face?
Well, it doesn't matter whether you or I think he's guilty of murder, and let's face it, this is a very pro-law enforcement community. And I personally do not think, even if the evidence does technically establish a murder, I think the jury is more likely to come back with an involuntary manslaughter conviction. As to all 3 defendants, of course, only 2 defendants, Officer Cincinnati is charged with involuntary manslaughter, not murder. Officer Ramos is charged with murder, and there's a 3rd officer, Officer Wolf, who will be tried separately in January.
And just going back to the fact that this is so pro-cop, Orange County especially, and this is such a rarity, you know, what's the community reaction, and what's your reaction?
Well, I don't see how, when I watch the video, and I've been doing criminal defense for 20 years, and I've seen some horrible things, but it can't help but bring a tear to your eye to see Kelly Thomas saying, "I'm sorry, help me, Dad, I can't breathe. And I think that is going to be what the prosecution stands on. At some point, even if one could argue this was a reasonable force to effectuate an arrest, I mean, at some point it's got to stop. And however, your question about police officers and pro-conservative community, that's going to help the defendants.
Very interesting.
Yeah, Mark DeVore, thank you so much. It'll be very interesting to see how this case plays out, and hopefully we'll have you back on soon.
Well, thank you very much. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Coming up, Kelly Moody tells us what weather we can expect for this weekend. Kelly, great reporting. Thank you so much. The city of Durante hosted the 17th annual Walk for Hope earlier this week. Natasha Martinez joined the walkers in their fight against cancer. This cause walk is the only walk to take place at the same location that research and treatment is done. Coming up, Gardy will tell us the latest news on our Chapman football team. Alex, I wonder if we're still undefeated.
Yeah, you know, sports actually isn't our biggest forte, so Gardy, why don't you take over for us?
Thanks, Min.
Alex, we have been looking forward to anchoring together all semester, and we nailed it. I'm so excited for Discover Chapman Day tomorrow and telling all of our prospective students about our great program.
Well, Annie, I will actually be sleeping in, but have a good time. And from our whole news team here at Chapman News, have a great weekend.